it was like trying to walk with a wet pillow on your head and breathe at the same time.
Put that back in Grandma's shelf by her TV.
So Jeff, what are your fondest wishes now at 32 for your future?
I don't know. Just, let's see, what were my fondest wishes? I consider, being a little bit more agreeable with other people, or again, having a good state of mind. It's not, just have a nice, peaceful state of mind. Not bothering people or making rude remarks.
Oh.
I've never known you to do that anyway.
I've never known you to do that. You are very agreeable.
I thought.
Sometimes. That's why I'm always quiet all the time. That's why I don't talk a lot.
Or Steve. I thought Jeff would be a teacher. The thing I remember most about Jeff was trying to teach Grandma how to use the hula hoop. He was so patient with me. And I had such a horrible time trying to use the hula hoop.
You were always patient with your brothers, too, as a kid, I think.
No, Tyler, turn the tail.
Being a teacher.
Maybe you still can.
I know, I think I was a little bit out. Too much time to take
Turn it down.
to really keep me interested in it long enough to
You're not too old.
You won't be able to hear what
go
we're
back
saying.
to school.
I think Darren would be a good teacher too. No, when were you talking? Was it you and I that were talking about that? Oh, it was Becky. She was saying how she thought Darren would be a good music teacher. Oh, when we went to hear Amber's band concert, she said, "Boy, don't you think Darren would be a good music teacher?" Or it wouldn't take much for him to get his teaching degree. Just kind of
Darren's got so much.
something to fall back on all the time.
He's got a lot of talent even beyond
Let's
that.
come up
to-
here and get a close-up of Michi.
to make
Michi dog. Get close up.
get close up with his smile. Love the smile. Has he got his fur cut like that, or
Oh yeah, if she didn't have, now you got me calling him a yeet. If she didn't have a haircut, she'd be all long and shaggy, right? They look cute that way though. I mean, actually this whole thing is a mask on her face. Because if you pull her fur back, she's just got this little long skinny nose. Let's show 'em.
And she doesn't shed, does she?
Not when she's cut, you know.
I don't think they shed normally either.
She don't shed like
Mm-mm.
a lot of them.
Come here, Misha.
Get close up of Michi.
This plays dead dog when you try to do anything with
Let me show you. Yeah, I know, it's embarrassing. Oh, you're still pretty either way.
Okay, well, Grandma, tell us, what do you know about,
Michi.
no,
She said, "Oh, good
I was
dog."
going to ask you about your parents. Because I think you told me, did they meet in Steamboat Springs?
I don't know if they met in Steamboat. That's where they got married at least in Steamboat Springs.
Because didn't your dad live up on Elk Mountain?
Yeah. And he had a ranch there.
He had a what?
A ranch.
A cattle ranch?
No, just, they called them ranches.
It's like where they farm.
Yeah.
Did he own it, or was he
Yeah,
leaving?
he owned it.
That's what that claim was about. I would imagine.
No, that was
That was a mining claim?
mining claim. But he owned the range. And until just a few years ago, the house they lived in was still there.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Leonard and I went up, and the people said the house had just burned down that spring.
Oh, is that right?
And
Oh,
it's
that's too bad.
that hasn't been more than, it's been about 1970 when I went up there with Leonard, because your dad was still alive.
Did your father build the house? He must
I
have
don't
built it
know.
well if it lasted that long.
I don't know if it was, but they said the house had still was there until that spring and it had turned down.
But that's not where you were born.
Oh no, I was born up on Crescent.
So, what made the move from Elk Mountain to Great Grass Mesa?
No, I know they sold that range because we found the record of it where they sold it.
So they did maybe live there for a while after they got married.
Yes, they lived there. They had 3 children up there.
Oh, okay. And then they thought maybe that
I
Grass
don't know,
Mesa would be
maybe-
better.
Well, maybe they want to get down to a little warmer climate. It's awful cold up there.
Yeah.
Real cold in Steamboat.
Lots of snow.
And you told me one time why they called it Steamboat Springs. Why did they call it Steamboat
I
Springs?
can't remember something about a spring or something up there. Gave off a name that sounded like a steamboat.
Whistle or something.
Hmm.
Oh, a
And
hot
I don't-
spring or something.
Hot Springs. And I don't remember the story well enough.
But do you think that, was... Now, your mom's family was settled in Steamboat Springs, too. Was she living there at that time also?
Yes, she was living there with her family.
And they were some of the first families living in that area, or?
I haven't any idea.
Hmm.
Your mom was one of the first teachers, wasn't she? In the
Well,
state?
she was a teacher. Up at
Tin Cup.
St. Elmo.
Oh, St. Elmo, I'm sorry.
Didn't she teach up in Netherlands?
Yes, she did. She taught up in there. Wonder if a person
In-
could find any record of that.
In Netherlands and the other side of Mountains?
Mm-hmm.
She did?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yes, she taught.
And here I lived up in Netherlands and I never even knew
You didn't
this.
know that? Oh.
Yeah,
No.
she taught up in there.
Wow. And when your dad was still alive, she taught that?
Oh, no, she never taught after she married my dad. She didn't do anything when they had babies.
I played at the Netherlands High School prom a couple of times.
Yeah, I remember that.
You did?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's funny. You had to wear prom suits?
No.
The band wouldn't.
You had to be cool.
We played a lot of proms.
Yeah. It was good money for proms.
Yeah,
really.
proms paid very well, so we always had prom season well booked.
You know, one of the things I always remember that you told me about Grandma was that she danced. Didn't you tell
Oh,
me?
they said Grandma could just dance the night away.
That always stuck in my mind because I
Yeah.
love to dance.
Yeah, 'cause she used to get on me so, 'cause I like to dance.
She didn't want you to dance?
But I remember when we were little kids, about like Tyler and Amber, she was teaching us all the dance, the boys.
Yeah.
She danced with me, teaching.
I can't imagine Grandma
And then
dancing.
she turned so religious.
She became a Baptist.
No dancing.
Dancing, it was just singing.
Yeah, there's still a lot of Baptist sects out there that don't allow that.
I think so. They don't have dances and stuff. Well, it's... What, now, didn't you say your father was Catholic, though?
Yes. He was Catholic. He went to Catholic school as a boy. And he was a choir boy at church.
Or an altar boy?
I don't know what's the difference? Are the choir boys the same as the
Well, choir boy would be singing,
Singing.
and an altar. And
We carry the end singing.
I don't really know which one, only that I understood them to say choir boy,
Mm.
and I don't even know.
Well, he was a musician and stuff, wasn't
So,
he?
not
Or
that I know of.
Oh, really?
That was
His-
my misimpression.
His sister was a music teacher in the Catholic girls. Now, he told me that, so that's what I remember.
How old were you when you died?
Almost.
tell us about your brothers putting you up on the rock, or what was that all?
I suppose they had to take care of me all the time, so my sister and older brother wanted to go somewhere, and they didn't want to take me along, so they put me up on this big high boulder. Went on and then
How old?
more than just crawling, I think. I probably could walk.
And they knew you wouldn't try and get off of it.
They knew, I was so rattlesnakes all around. Oh,
So how long did you sit there?
I can't remember for sure, but I think it was the biggest part of a half a day anyway, or maybe a half a day, or biggest part of the day.
It's the Stone Age playpen.
That's right.
Yeah, that's one way of putting a kid up that couldn't get off. Well, I bet I just sit very quietly too, because I probably was afraid of falling.
You know something I've wondered about, because we get so many different kinds of foods and stuff at the grocery store or whatever. Up on Grass Mesa, that was far from everywhere.
Oh, but we had a lot of good food.
Did you? What kinds of things did you eat?
Oh, they grew a garden. We had all kinds of veggies, and we always had berries and fruit, and apricots, I remember, and all kinds of good stuff to eat when I was a kid. My dad was alive, because they got out and had a great big garden.
Did you can? Yeah, or
I don't remember much
your
about
mother
mine.
can?
I know that in the winter, the fall, they had a big cellar that you could drive the team and horses in.
Oh, where you stored all your food
Where
and
we
stuff?
we had all kinds of pumpkins and stored our watermelons and tried to keep them as long as we could.
Things
Potatoes.
wouldn't freeze down in
Oh, no.
the apples.
Apples.
Did you cut ice off a thing?
No, we didn't. Every time my dad would go to town, he'd bring home a big chunk of ice that they did cut off. That's where they got their ice, and rifle was cut off the river, I'm sure.
You guys fish?
No, we never did have time to fish.
Is that right?
Nah, it was
It
too
takes
hard.
time.
It was,
Catch those fish.
we just worked.
And so was it mostly a farm that you had, or did you raise cattle
We
too?
had a number of cattle. We didn't have a big herd of cattle.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a number of horses. And we had pigs and chickens. And we even had a goat or two.
You always rode a horse to school?
Ooh, I remember you telling me about a mountain lion falling in school.
Well, it was when I had taken Aunt Nora to ride. I don't know, anyway, when I was coming back, the mountain lion was sort of on the other side of this big old mountain lion.
And he's just following you?
He was just walking.
Is that right?
The horse didn't get frightened. I don't know if the horse didn't notice.
I bet the horse smelled me.
I The horse wasn't frightened, and I wasn't frightened, and the mountain lion wasn't frightened. So we rode along there about a mile to get.
Aggressive.
There was a jogger, an 18-year-old boy that was just killed in Boulder a couple years ago.
Yeah, he jumped.
Yeah.
The runner, didn't he?
And a woman.
But he made no attempt to come across.
You remember any kind of brushes with wildlife?
I had a lot of brushes with the little long-haired, Texas long-haired horn.
Dude, in fact, that's why they, aren't they, don't they charge like?
Well, anyway, this one must have had a calf somewhere out. Anyway, so chased me. Probably none of you know what a drill box is, a grain drill.
Mm-mm.
But anyhow, they have great big wheels on them, and then they have two boxes sitting on the back with a lid that opens up. And so when they plant the grain, they put the wheat in there, the grain in these little boxes, and then it goes down. And this longhorn Texas cow started after me, and I run and got in there. And I was little enough I could have gone in. And I stayed there for hours.
Is that right? Was he standing out there?
Yeah,
Oh, geez.
pawing the ground and snorting and puffing, bellering.
So did you have a community? I mean, were the people around, did they come around or get together or have meals together?
Well,
Dances?
only during hay and or thrashing season. They'd all come to your house. All the farmers would get together and help each other.
So what happened after your dad died?
Okay.
Earth to kneel.
Turn it off.
And the papers were in the house somewhere, but we never took them. So we never did know what happened to them, whether somebody came and took them.
Well, he was a young man when he died. What?
Yeah, I
What-
think he was in his 50s.
What killed him?
He had,
Carotenoids.
I think,
He died, that was the listing on his death certificate, I think. He may have, it's hard to say, he might have had cancer, possibly the
Yeah.
same kind I had. Because that's the way you die if you don't have surgery. And they didn't do an autopsy on him, apparently. They tell him what happened. He got sick, yeah.
and they took him to Glenwood, and the doctor that was going to do the surgery was out different. He got lost. So it took him 2 or 3 days to get in. And when he got back, then he done surgery on him. But he didn't live. It'd been too long, you know.
So at that time, were all the kids still at home?
No, just, no, there wasn't any of us. We didn't have a home. We were all scattered around. Mama was working for some people. We had Alan. And Bud wasn't even there, and Irvin wasn't there. Belle was in California going to school. And I guess I was staying with that mother.
So what happened then? How long did that last? Did the family get back together? Or did
Yeah,
you
well,
stay-
we did. We had the ranch for a little while.
Uh-huh.
And Mom and I stayed there, but nobody else. Donald and I tried to farm. Donald and I didn't farm. We really did.
Yeah. What kind of crops would you try to raise up there?
I guess we tried to raise some corn or something.
A real short season up there?
Well, not too bad, I guess. If I remember. I can remember what wonderful crops they had. What potatoes we grew. What a beautiful garden we had. And we had all kinds of garden stuff when my dad was alive.
Mhm.
He and Mama worked in the garden.
So did your brothers and everybody, did they stay in this area?
More
As
or
they got
less,
older?
they stayed around Silken Rifle for a long time.
So,
Was Silk bigger than it is now, or was it about the same?
But no, it wasn't as big. There weren't so many houses. There's always been one. So,
That must have been, I think, wasn't that quite a ways from Grass Mesa to Rifle? How often would you go down there?
It was about, what, I'd say,
Oh gosh,
10 miles.
at least. I was in down that steep side of that peninsula.
Yeah.
He took a buggy down with him, or a trip. To get supplies or whatever.
Yeah, would drive a buggy. Go to, or a wagon, whichever.
Wagon,
Depend on
yeah.
what he was going to get, I guess.
Now, how did that cabin that you showed us, was that just a cabin that was already there and then
You mean up where?
near the cemetery?
the,
Oh, that was
That's-
Bud's ranch, my brother Bud's ranch.
And did he build that cabin?
No, that cabin had been there for a long time. The ranch had belonged to a fellow by the name of Jimmy Parker. And then he liked Bud real well, so I don't know whether Bud bought the ranch from him or whether he just gave it to Bud. I didn't know.
Now, how old was Bud when he took over that ranch or moved into that property there?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Because it seems to me he was, the way you were talking about it, he was a pretty young man.
Well, he was a young man when I took care of their horses at the time. He must have still been in his 20s. Must have still been about 19 or 20.
hmm.
Yeah, tell that story about taking care of those horses.
Oh, of course, my dad was over in his house,
Uh-huh.
and then I stayed at Bud's. Bud and a fellow by the name of Sherri rented that ranch.
Mm-hmm.
So they were boarding all these horses. And the horses had to be taken care of or they would have gotten in the cornfield or the wheat field, whichever it was. So I'd have to get up in the morning and I think he must have had at least a dozen horses.
How old were you?
And I stayed on the ranch that summer for him. I'd take the horses out in the morning, and then I'd bring them in. And I had to stay out with them because they would have gotten, I had to ride herd on the,
They'd run right back home.
no, they would have run right back into the wheat field or the cornfield.
Oh, I see.
So I had to stay out with them. Then I'd bring them in at night and water them all and corral them. Put them in the corral so they couldn't get out of it. And then get up in the morning and do the same thing again.
So what would you do if they started going into the corn or the wheat field?
Oh, I'd have to keep them out. I had to ride all the time.
Oh, you were on a horse.
Oh, yes, I had a horse.
Oh, okay, so you weren't on foot or anything.
Oh,
So you just sit up on that horse all day?
yeah, keep them out of the cornfield or the field, whatever it was. I can't remember.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Did you pack a lunch or?
I don't
Eat lunch in
remember
the
even
saddle?
having anything to eat all the time I was up there.
Oh, we thought you didn't need anything to eat. Help.
Hmm.
So when was it that you met Grandpa, Sylvan?
Oh, there's a long space in there between
A
the
long time, until I was 21, 20, 21.
That's what. How did you meet him?
Oh, I had some friends from Denver that I knew that
Packing pizza?
Peaches.
Oh, peaches.
I never packed any peaches.
Do you know one of my first memories? I think of mom, or at least, I mean, not mom, but mom working was, she says she doesn't understand how I remember this, but I thought I remembered looking up and seeing you at the top of a chute, maybe packing peaches. But that can't be, no, you would have been down. Were there chutes when you packed
Oh,
peaches?
you know what? That was when I was starting peaches.
Wow.
I packed peaches, and I would just got the feeling so bad that I asked them if I didn't just sort. Didn't have to lift those boxes. So that was a big packing shed, and I got up and loaded peaches, and the rest was Sunday.
Was there really a chute?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the chute run down, just a chute of, you know, they run down I don't know what you call them, a chute, I guess.
I have a mental image in my
I'm
head.
sure
I have
you-
very few memories, but I remember that. And I remember walking through the peach trees, and the way the light was so beautiful on the peach
Oh,
trees.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And
Yeah, it was gold and lime green and really pretty colors through the light. But I must have only been 3 or
you
4.
You were less than that when you got on that beach, right?
Well, see, those are the only flashes of memory I have from my real young age.
I expect your dad probably brought you up there, maybe picked me up or something when I was starting. Because that was in Palisade and we lived in Grandin.
What was he doing at the time?
He was selling insurance. Had an insurance agency.
How did he court you?
By singing to me.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. He was a wonderful singer, and I loved to hear him sing.
We were talking about that last night. How
Grandpa.
singing seems to run through the males in the family, or skip this generation. But from
Yeah.
him, because she said his voice was so good.
They offered him a chance to sing with the Denver Symphony
Really?
at when the kids were little.
Huh.
And he wouldn't take. Yeah,
Is that right? I
That's
didn't know that.
amazing.
he wouldn't do it.
He sure didn't seem, in my memories of him, he would never like, he had a,
An artist.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
But my God, had a beautiful voice, but he lost that voice.
Huh. Just from not using it, or?
I always thought because he quit singing,
Yeah.
and he never used it, and then he spoke to it.
Mm-hmm.
And he got to where he couldn't carry a tune, I agree.
I remember seeing Blueberry Hill.
Yeah, he used to, but I mean, right along toward the last.
Yeah,
I remember he tried to sing
probably was green.
something. Yeah. But he had a beautiful voice.
So how long did you guys court before you married?
Maybe 3 months, 6 months or something like that.
And you got married in Grand Junction, or?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Is this what they were?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
We were living in Hotchkiss. We couldn't have done something.
Hotchkiss
There's
is
peony
so-
from here.
I told you it was so pretty.
And just about.
Is that all?
It's up the side of the Grand Mesa, that big huge tabletop mountain right there.
Oh,
My, it's a
really?
beautiful place.
It is.
Oh, is it really?
Oh my, I went up there like, Helen Metz was here, and she and Patricia and I and her cousin, we drove down, and beautiful, drove through the town, the trees and the flowers,
And Cedar Ridge and Hotchkiss are beautiful.
Cedar Ridge and Hotchkiss is not so big.
Oh, Cedar
Well,
Ridge is the one I guess I remember.
Cedar Ridge is
So you guys got married in the Depression? During the Depression?
Depression.
What, What was that like?
It was
Depressing?
very depressing. With nothing to eat.
Really, it really felt that way here? It was,
Oh my, yes. And then of course, when Patricia was born, we took her to Denver for her eyes.
mhm.
And neither one of us had a job. And they don't grow a thing out of North. They don't.
That's right, they don't.
They had soup lines.
But I never got to go to the food line. But, oh,
Well, what did you do? How did you survive?
I think your granddad used to go down to the food line. That's what I always figured. The reason he survived as well as he did. Because he would be out.
He stayed heavy, fatter, and you.
And I got down to 90, I weighed 98 pounds in years. And when Sherri was about old
Should they
enough
go
to
take
start
a nap,
school,
huh?
I gained up to 116 pounds. First I got up to 105.
So did you stay in Denver?
Oh,
At that time?
we moved back and forth to Denver and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we stayed in Denver there until David was born.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved back to
Well, where did you live? If did he how'd you pay for where you were living and
we didn't live on anything, I guess. He finally got a job when Roosevelt was in office. He got a job with, I don't remember what he was doing, but he got a job, and then he got a job at the museum as working in the paleontology department.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
And it wasn't, he didn't, they just wanted
because they had to work on the farm or whatever? And so, like when they were 16 or 17, they were pretty much on their
Long
own?
before that, they were on their own.
Really? Even before they were 16?
Yeah, Donald must have been only 14. He was on his own. He was the one a little older than I was.
Mm-hmm.
So we were all on our own. Mama took Alan and kept him with her when she gave up the ranch. And kept Alan with her, and she just worked for people on their home.
And this was after your dad had died, right? Well, you started to talk about Sylvan getting a job at the museum.
Oh, the museum, yeah. Well, they were hiring people at that time to giving them jobs. And he got this job at the museum in the paleontology department.
And what would he do?
Yeah, he helped clean bones and put these prehistoric bones together at the museum.
Now, I remember you saying something that you and Sylvan, or maybe it was just you, had found a dinosaur in a
Jeff's got to be.
creek bed or something?
Two.
Yeah, between Newcastle and Glenwood.
And you were just out hiking or something?
Yeah, Eileen and I found a bone. So one of the ladies that lived in that area, she took it to the museum in Grand Junction. And they said it was a dinosaur bone, and they started digging there, but it's right on the river bank, and they were so covered with water that they finally gave up trying to dig it out.
Did they say what kind of dinosaur it was?
If they did, I don't remember.
Hmm. But it was you and Eileen that found it.
We found the bone, yeah, and took
Mm.
it in, but the other lady took it
To the museum to find out what it was. Huh.
Didn't you and Grandpa find a dinosaur, a whole skeleton in the riverbank at Rifle Creek or whatever?
to. No, It was Eileen and I that found a piece of one. And there was a dinosaur there on the river, on the Colorado River bank there. And they've got it fenced around.
Do you know what kind of dinosaur it was?
No, I don't even remember the name of it.
They still got it fenced in?
Stegosaur?
I think it's fenced in that area. It may not be by now, still fenced.
They just could never
They said
zoom it?
no, they said that it would shatter too much. It had been in the waters
For too long.
too long or something. So they just fenced the areas.
So how long did Sylvan work for the museum?
He must have worked there. He must have worked there about 5 years. I guess 5 or
Oh, that's quite a while.
5 years.
So he must have learned a lot about
Yeah.
dinosaurs
Yeah,
and
he did, but he didn't.
wasn't particularly fond of it, huh?
No, he didn't like working inside. He wanted to be out.
Did you start your cosmetology business at that time?
No, I didn't start cosmetology until, let's see, I started before Sherri started the school. I had one kid start the school, start the first grade and one.
Were you in Colorado Springs? Did
No,
you go to
we
Colorado
were
Springs?
in Grand Junction here. And then I started the beauty school.
Were you working while he was working at the museum? Or were you home with the
No, I
kids?
stayed home with the kids.
Yeah.
I think I've done some sewing.
Where in Denver were you living at the time?
We built a house out on Osceola, South Osceola.
South Osceola, you don't remember the address?
No, I sure don't remember the address.
Was it close to the museum?
No, it's clear
That's over
across town.
west,
That's over in West,
Westminster? Or
No.
southwest?
it's just West Denver.
That's what I thought.
I remember the next street up was Patton Court,
Yeah,
Oh, really?
that's right.
but I don't remember, I don't even remember the name of the school where the kids went to school.
Yeah, it's out there west of Federal.
Yeah, it is. It's about what, 2 or 3 miles south of Federal, isn't it?
Well, Federal runs north and south, and so it's west of Federal there, and
Would
you've
be
got,
the-
I can't
Let's
think
see.
of all the streets, but it's between, I think, Federal and Wadsworth.
Oh, yeah, Wadsworth's quite a ways on out.
Yeah.
Let's see, what is the next? You'd think I'd remember.
Or Federal and Sheridan.
No.
Be right there at Sheridan, close to Sheridan.
Sheridan's quite a ways on out.
Well, it's the main drag is Federal, and then the next one is Sheridan. Then it's Wadsworth.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, there's.
Yeah,
the-
that's right.
Well, then it was, and I was trying to think of some of the businesses that was on the Federal there. I remember there was a big ice cream place there where we could get milkshakes.
Hmm.
We had to walk a little.
Now this is when you lived there, like in the, what would it have been, early 40s? Late
let's
30s,
see.
early 40s?
David was born in 43, so we had moved out there. We bought some ground out there, lots.
Hmm.
And
And this is while he was working at the museum still.
well, he was working at the museum, and then he finally quit the museum and was just doing work, war jobs, you know, where they started building plants for the
Munitions.
war. Munitions plants. He got on with that,
Mm-hmm.
and we stayed there till, let's see, David was born January the 17th, and he was just a small baby when we moved to western Colorado, so we decided he didn't want to stay and didn't bring him. But in the meantime, we had built a house.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
During that time?
During that time, Silken done most of the work.
Oh, really? Built it
Yeah.
himself.
And his neighbors would come and help him before we built it.
You think that house is still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
And where was that at? Is that the place you were just trying to remember?
On Osceola, and I can't remember the
Osceola.
number. Helen would probably remember.
Huh.
And I could find it if I got out in that area.
Yeah. And then you moved back to,
We moved back to Silton, and finally we bought a place in Montrose. Moved there.
okay, that's right, because Sherri was born in Montrose.
And Sherri was born there.
And what was he doing in Montrose at that
Oh,
time?
he was selling insurance, of course, and gone all the time.
Traveling and selling insurance?
Yeah, just traveling to Grand Junction and those little towns around and just. So, shouldn't we have our kids here by now?
It should be here any minute.
Pretty soon.
Pretty
I
soon.
mean, but that was like, we're cutting it right down to 4 hours.
Yeah.
So it could
Yeah.
be.
And they, you know, with the baby, they probably
Had to
stopped.
stop to
Yeah.
change your plans.
Little Adisen.
Adisen, where'd they get that
Yeah,
name?
they're probably stretched
They just
up
came up with it.
baby.
And they liked it. They were going to name her Adisen if she was a boy, too, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, went both
And they
ways.
didn't give her a middle name.
No, she doesn't have a middle name.
I thought like a good, because Brandon's middle name, Sarah. That's a pretty name. I like the name Sarah. Edison, Sarah.
I got a good one too. Anastasia.
Addison Anastasia.
Anastasia.
Hey, Chris.
A.
Hmm.
Addison,
You know how they spell it? They spell it Adisen.
Oh,
Mhm.
Addison.
Isn't that cute?
She's pretty cute, baby.
She is.
So they have the name Addison, her middle name?
No, she doesn't have a middle name.
No, they would. They
Doesn't have, don't rock my
What you
chair.
looking for?
The case for this one.
It's in the
Don't
bathroom.
rock my chair.
Oh, is it?
No.
I took it off yesterday.
She doesn't look like she wants to go in there.
If she hears the word leash, go for a walk leash. Maybe she forgot what a walk is now.
No, it
She
hasn't been
gets
that
so
long.
excited when she heard me say, "You want to go for a walk?"
Let me get you
Are
do.
you kidding? They'll be careful with her, and Missy would never run away very far after her.
No, that
She
must.
wouldn't.
No, I mean, but she could never touch a cat either. I don't think.
And if she did, what would she do with it?
Cat
Try
would
to
scratch
buy
her.
it. Well, yeah, the cat would scratch her, and then she'd know, what have I been
Once you
thinking all
shut the,
these
they
years?
didn't shut the door.
Want to
you
get
know.
one of
My
those
heart's
things.
desire, and then gets scratched with a cat.
Well, I know what you can tell me, but what kind, Edith always tells me all the great things that you and her used to do.
Oh, what did she tell you?
She was telling me about, well, she told me about something about horseback riding one time. But she told me about you guys sleeping out in the backyard. What was that about?
I don't remember.
She said you'd come over and that you were just like a sister to her.
Yeah, I love to go to their house.
She had just one brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Claire?
Claire.
Yeah.
And she talks about Edgar Allan quite a bit too.
Yeah, she and Alan were about the same age, see.
Mhm.
And they just dearly loved each other. Alan loved Edith with everything. He really loved Edith. Edith and he were such good pals.
Really?
Yeah.
Since they were real little, or?
Yeah, from the time they were tiny. Edith started school before Alan did, so she'd come home and then play school with him and make him sit down and learn everything. She'd teach him everything she learned all day.
Oh, really?
So when he started school, he was way ahead.
Well, I think Edith is quite a writer herself, and
Well,
so
her
maybe they
mother
had.
was.
Mildred wrote?
Mildred could have done a lot of writing.
Mildred was a really a neat one.
Well, I know all those things that Edith has written in her albums about all the family and everything
Yes,
are
she
very
did like
nice. And
well, she just little things that she remembered. She said, you know, that struck her as something. I remember.
Edith was really beautiful. She was like a movie star.
Mildred was beautiful person.
Mildred really had an incredibly beautiful face. I don't know what her body was like when she was
But
young.
Edith had a beautiful body too.
Yeah.
With her little face.
Yeah, he's pretty stunning. I've been those old pictures.
Yeah.
Yes, you were pretty.
so her and Edgar probably shared that common interest. That he liked writing and she liked writing.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, well, they were just pals. That was all there was to it. They
How
were
come
just-
you guys called him Alan instead of Edgar? Or Ed?
I don't know why. After he went in the service, he went with the name Edgar.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
hmm. Oh, and she was. Oh, what else did she tell me? She told me. Now I can't remember. Seems like she was telling me about some house with a screened-in porch.
Yeah, that was something there. They're out there just between Life and Silk, out on the road to the Mill Creek. The Hun Range.
And that's where you spent a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. And we learned to swim up in the irrigation pond and had mud dogs in the pond and get them swimming along. It was deep too.
What are mud dogs?
That's what I was going to say. What are mud dogs?
Well, I don't know what their real name is.
They're like frogs?
Tadpoles?
No, my, they're great long, they're poisonous.
They're lizards.
They're long like this. They kind of look like a fish, and if they bite you, they're poisonous.
Maybe it's like salamanders.
No, it's way bigger than salmon. And they live
Mud
in
dog.
the water,
Uh-huh.
swim like fish.
Yeah, I've heard of mud dogs, but I've never seen one before. You don't eat them.
Oh no, I know. They might eat you, but you wouldn't eat
You want
them.
some mud dog for dinner?
Yeah, gluten.
Doesn't sound very
Yeah, we'd
appetizing.
had a lot of food. And Mildred and Edith, Mildred and John, that's Edith's mother and dad.
Mm-hmm.
They were young parents. And they lived on this ranch, and even at noon when they'd come in for dinner with all the hired men and things, you know, they'd get out their guitar, you know, and they'd all sing. John was a wonderful singer, and so was Mildred. And they'd sing, hired hands would sing.
Keep the morale high that way.
Mhm. They had a wonderful.
So it was kind of fun to be around
Oh,
them
it
like
was
that.
more fun to be around all those people, you know, everybody full of fun and singing and dancing, and so every chance I got, I hit out for there. Yeah, I love to be there with them.
Yeah, there's something to be said for the old days, or or at least past times. 'Cause
Yeah, everybody got together on Sunday and you had a big dinner, everybody. If you didn't have cook everything, while somebody would bring in stuff. Everybody get together on Sundays.
Sit around, sing, play guitar.
Sing, dance. Tell big stories.
How much?
So, after, see, Mom. Grief, you would have been, Mom was born right at the end of the war.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
What happened with, where were you when
We were,
whatever, VE Day?
we were out on May the 8th. I remember when we were out at Old Lake on that ranch out there. And Sherri was just that old from the
13
25th.
days.
And I remember we were there alone, the kids and I, of course. We were always alone. And I remember hearing them celebrate all night. You could still hear people, even as far out as we were, we could hear people from the towns around us celebrate.
Is that right? What did you hear, just music?
Just voices and music and yelling and, you know. So I knew that
Something was up.
something was up. Don't think we even had a radio.
Is that right?
I know we had to have a radio, because I remember hearing about Roosevelt dying and,
So you didn't have a favorite radio program you guys would listen to?
oh, I didn't, with 4 kids, you didn't have much, 4 little kids. I didn't have.
You'd think the kids would want to listen to a radio program.
Oh, they did, they used to.
I remember listening to the radio.
I remember the programs and I remember these stories, and I can't remember which ones. Of course, I never did sit down and listen to them.
Bobby of the B-Bar Bees.
I was always so busy trying to keep up with everything, and I guess I was slow or something. But I remember when they'd come to the point where it'd get real scary, Patricia would hold her hands over her ears and not listen. Well, what did you do?
That wasn't much of a walk.
Down the street. And
No, we didn't go very far. She was a bad dog. She wouldn't mind. She was going off in the distance.
Oh, well, she likes to run.
Oh, is that what you want to do?
Yeah, somebody used to run with
I don't think John Todd would keep up with me if he ran.
Oh, yeah.
I guess, you
her.
think?
He did, yeah, he practiced up
She
yesterday.
could have ran.
Well,
Well, she needs to learn to walk, but she won't now, I think.
It's hard, Neil? Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm not now, I don't think she
Oh,
would
it's
ever
a
be a
good
good.
vacation. Just being away from
Oh,
I
there's
was
the case.
4
Here's
days
the
at
case and they
Roosevelt.
put it in already.
I was one of the ones that United Nations was formed. The very day we started.
Jeff is a pinball.
I was. There was the.
That's
Yeah, the charter was signed.
What do you want to do now? We didn't go to the park. Spring called the little girl, said it stopped.
Well, Neil could probably take you over to the park.
Yeah, just go up here and turn back that way.
Oh, you turn right?
You go up to the corner here, turn right,
Sure, I think.
and go just to where that blockade is, and then go up the street and off to the right about 2 blocks. There's a park up there, and there's people up there playing ball and playing
Okay.
games.
Yeah, Neil, take Tyler up there. He wants to go. Take Mishi. Take Mishi with you.
You
Then
can
she
get
She
outside
can
and sit
stay
and
here,
get out of
Mishi
here.
can stay
Oh,
here.
she'd love to go to the park with them.
Yeah, but other people have dogs up there.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
put her on a
And she
leash.
don't need to go.
Go with
She can
Neil.
stay here.
Get her leash and take her out.
Well, I think Mom didn't want her to go.
I just soon she didn't go.
Close the door.
Come here, Mishi.
Mishi.
You don't need to take Mishi, honey.
No.
They'll take
No.
good care of her.
I just soon.
Okay.
She doesn't want to go.
Got the leash?
No, they don't want. She doesn't want you to take her.
I just soon she didn't go.
No.
Now she's confused.
Come on, Mishi.
But I'll watch him out the window.
And I had a man walking her for a while when I wasn't able to. He didn't even like to pick her up there because he said there's so many dogs in the park.
She tries to chase after him.
And he said he was afraid the big dogs might hurt her.
Mm.
Dad, if we look at the
It's a hard day, gosh. What does Darren do now? Does he?
He
Play-
does
play
odd
music?
jobs and then plays music. Yeah.
He don't work for his dad?
He'll do work for his dad occasionally, but he has a band that's playing on the weekends now sometimes. And he's been doing some work for my brother Wayne,
Oh.
but he's mainly doing recording, trying to.
He's teaching some voice lessons.
Mhm.
He is.
What happened to the computer job?
He quit.
What kind of computer job?
I would. I couldn't handle it.
He was just a service. He was in the service department taking phone calls, helping people through their program, I guess, whatever it is, troubleshoot.
Yeah, she's.
She's
Look
that
at her
same
sitting
way.
there.
She looks like a little
One arm over here and one arm over.
Exactly like that.
I was talking about earlier.
Remember? I'm trying to get you to use it. I'm going to do a video.
Here is Adisen. Oh, with tears in her eyes.
Okay.
Did your friend pie?
I have cake, I'll jump over.
You better hurry up and get pie.
Me.
You're getting the baby. I don't want to walk in front of the baby.
No, Nishi. That is his baby. Just
They're the ones that you were talking about before.
Just the older one. I took a whole roll of pictures of her in the camera and took a snip off and got back in the tips. And then stuff had it. It's in the dance room. I'll show you my hand.
And
Cheese. We're at Grandma Patton's this weekend. Grandma Patton's just came in. And we'll pan on over to Brandon. Notice the figure.
which figure? The
I
silhouetted
thought you were on
figure?
Brandon.
Oh, yeah, I was.
Sensitive issue,
Hey, hey, women pay big bucks for that.
Yeah.
Hey, women are paying big bucks for those these
He had
days.
he had his finger on the zoom.
Oh, crunch.
Testing.
Testing.
Focus.
And what do you have to say, Neil?
Darren, Grandma, can we stay here tonight?
yeah, I guess that, I think Jeff and Michelle are using it, I'm not sure. But even if they aren't.
Amber, what do you have to say for yourself?
Hello?
Trust no one. I know she told we have to go fight Skeletor.
Go fight Skeletor?
Sword woman, skinny beyond Dad,
What do you have on your head?
that was a trap.
in that room. Something
At least
fell.
in shoes.
Come here, Mishi. Mishi, come over here.
I know you're gonna be able to convince her to want to.
Mishi.
He likes you better.
Mishi with Adisen.
Heather will just be so furious if I don't take her home a lot of pictures. This baby girl. Come on, Addison. Excuse me. I wish there was some quick
Is Grandma
magic we
asleep?
could all up and gather in a cluster suddenly. But it's
Mm-hmm.
Look at her.
What did you say?
Hi, Addison.
Chicken.
Hey, Addison.
No, I don't remember what he thought it tasted like. It's probably like a grasshopper.
Be a weird kid to do that.
I know.
Oh, giant blue spider.
Oh, this thing was a big. This thing was huge. That's the only way I said, I dare you to eat it because the thing was the size of a T-bone steak.
There
They
she
have
goes.
wolf spiders in Hawaii that really are enormous, and
Yeah.
they're probably, their legs span is less than an inch or anything. They don't hurt you though. But they're stupid.
One in the room that I stayed in.
Oh yeah,
I see them every day.
yeah.
Walk in there, there's a big old wolf spider.
There was one that lived in our engine, in the car.
Yeah.
Guys, the next time, she's so happy. Guys, the next time,
They've only got two
the
eyes.
next time you see a wolf spider this big,
She says,
Carol,
Carol,
put it
photograph
in
me.
a container and give it to me.
Isn't that funny? She seems to know which way to look there, just to get,
Or any kind of spider, even a black widow. I take it.
That mustard thing is kind of gross.
Hi,
Yeah.
Addison.
That's not as bad as
Hi.
the spider one.
That's
Hi.
a cute little outfit you have on.
Hi.
Pretty ruffly.
Are you looking at that
I
camera?
like it.
She left the bright red nose at home.
Did you know not all black widows
The couple
are
down out.
black widows?
Yeah.
Some of them are still married.
Yeah.
Hi.
Home widows because they eat their meals.
Yeah. And the male spider is weak and gray.
You're making noises. You're
She
making
hung out and
noises.
Flicking, and if you click on it, she gets back. She loves it.
Really?
She goes,
Except, I think for males.
Is Grandma asleep?
I think she went to lay down, maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't mean to go. Slay. Slay down.
Hmm?
But it's just,
Call
well,
that
if I'm gonna have to
food.
drive, I might as well.
Okay, you know
Get
what?
home
If I could just
Mm.
see her smile.
Yeah, like this.
Of all of you.
Nice little.
And Larry, if Larry could do that, she really likes Tyler.
Doesn't she?
Jeez.
You know, babies love little kids, and little kids love babies. It works well that way.
Yeah. You can laugh out loud.
Okay, Michelle, you're gonna have to over there too, so when Larry
She's
comes
trying to
back,
say
I'm gonna try to get you
Do
all.
it, do it again, Tyler.
Actually, I need it still squished more, I think.
There she goes.
Where's Amber though?
Where's Amber?
On my finger?
Oh, she's so happy.
Larry and Amber and Carol to put the drum.
Oh, okay.